If you think eating healthy is something that has to cost a lot of money, then you have been misled. The truth is, most of us do not eat poorly because we are poor, but because we buy the wrong things. You walk into the grocery store with the intention of eating healthier. A few days later, the food wilts, molds, and gets thrown away. The money is gone, the food is gone, and you are still hungry. No one teaches us how to buy food once we are past 40, past 50. No one clearly explains which foods actually nourish the body and which ones only feed the trash can. This video is not about dieting, detoxing, or miracle foods. It does only one thing, and the paradox is this. The best foods are often sitting on the shelves no one pays attention to. 10 items you should buy regularly each week to eat full, eat healthy, without waste. And 10 items you should avoid, not because they are toxic, but because they quietly drain your money and your energy. If you want to live lighter, not just longer, keep watching. 1. Eggs. Eggs are one of the very few foods that are inexpensive, easy to eat, and capable of nourishing the body without demanding that you be as strong as you were in your 30s. The protein in eggs is complete protein, absorbed directly by the body, without forcing it to do extra work. For people over 50, this is not a small thing. The body becomes tired not because it lacks food, but because it is fed things it can no longer process as well as it once did. A 62-year-old man in Ohio once shared that after retiring, he was forced to cut back on many things. No more eating out, no more buying food just to feel good. In his refrigerator, many items gradually disappeared, but eggs did not. There were days when I did not want to cook, did not want to think, he wrote. I just boiled 2 eggs, added a little salt. That was enough. Then he said one very short sentence, but one that struck the mindset of an entire generation. Eggs do not make me feel like I am saving money. They make me feel like I can still take care of myself. Eggs do not require recipes. They do not require equipment. They do not require advertising. Boiled quickly, fried quickly, mixed with frozen vegetables or leftover rice, they become a decent meal. More importantly, eggs are rarely wasted. You do not buy eggs and then quietly throw them away. In a world that keeps selling you convenience at a higher and higher price, eggs remain one thing that helps you hold on to something very important at this age: self-reliance. 2. Rice is not as bad as many people are being taught to believe. What gives rice a bad reputation is not the food itself, but the way people have eaten it incorrectly for many years. When rice was pushed aside to make room for processed foods, meals stopped being truly filling and became nothing more than empty calories. White rice is easy to digest, suitable for people with sensitive stomachs, poor appetite, or those over 50 who begin to notice that their digestion no longer cooperates the way it used to. Brown rice has more fiber, but not everyone can tolerate it. There is no single type of rice that is right for everyone. The biggest mistake is forcing yourself to eat according to trends instead of listening to your body. What matters about rice is not its numbers or labels. It lies here. Rice allows you to feel full without turning to snacks. When there is rice, a small amount of meat becomes enough. A simple meal can still maintain a sense of stability without getting hungry too quickly, without craving random foods. Rice stretches meals, stretches budgets, and more importantly, stretches your ability to manage daily life on your own. A food that has sustained humanity for thousands of years does not exist by luck. It exists because it does what many modern foods cannot: keep people full, calm, and self-reliant. And when you understand the true role of rice, you will look at the foods that come next with a completely different perspective. 3. Oats. Oats are one of the most body-friendly breakfasts when age begins to slow everything down. They do not spike blood sugar the way sweet cereals do, and they do not leave you hungry again after just an hour. Instead, the energy from oats arrives slowly, steadily, and helps the body maintain rhythm throughout the morning without strain. The greatest strength of oats is not dieting or eating healthy. Its strength is that it does not trigger a reaction from the body. The heart does not have to work too hard. The brain does not become fatigued early. For people over 50, this stability matters far more than the feeling of getting full quickly. From a practical standpoint, oats are inexpensive, shelf-stable, and require almost no cooking skill. Just hot water or milk is enough for a breakfast with sufficient energy. No stove, no oil, no complicated preparation. For those who eat small portions, or who are starting to feel that each meal has become heavy, oats allow you to eat less while still getting enough. More importantly, they allow you to take care of a decent breakfast on your own, even on days when the body feels tired or time is limited. And at this age, being able to take care of yourself is still a very big advantage. If you have ever bought very healthy food, only to throw it away over the weekend because you did not use it in time, type detoxing in the comments. 4. Dried beans. Dried beans are one of the most underrated foods in the grocery store, not because they lack value, but because they are not advertised. Beans are not flashy, not instantly convenient, but they do what many modern foods cannot: keep you full, healthy, and stable for a long time. Dried beans are inexpensive, high in fiber, provide plant-based protein, and support heart health when eaten in moderation. For people over 50, beans have a clear advantage. They do not cause blood sugar to spike and crash, and they do not leave the body feeling drained after a meal. You eat beans not to diet, but to avoid meals that make the body pay a price afterward. A 58-year-old viewer once commented under a video, "I started replacing 2 meat meals a week with dried beans, not to save money, but because I feel lighter, digest better, and no longer feel sleepy after lunch." From a practical perspective, dried beans are a food of self-reliance. One small bag of beans can be cooked into many meals. Cook once, portion it out, freeze it, and you have food ready in the freezer without relying on industrial food or high-sodium reheated meals. When there are beans, a small amount of meat becomes enough. Dried beans do not help you eat faster, but they help you avoid having to struggle every day figuring out what to eat. And at this age, that is a very valuable form of freedom. 5. Chicken thighs. Chicken thighs are often overlooked because they are not as pretty as chicken breast. But appearance is not what the body cares about once you are past 50. What the body needs is meat that is not dry, not hard to digest, and does not force you into complicated cooking. On this point, chicken thighs do far better than chicken breast. Chicken thighs contain more connective tissue and a moderate amount of natural fat, which keeps the meat tender even when cooked longer or reheated. For those who can no longer stand at the stove for long periods, this is a major advantage. You do not need precise heat control or complicated recipes. Roasting, braising, stewing, or pan-searing all result in a decent meal. More importantly, chicken thighs allow you to cook once and eat multiple meals without the meat becoming dry or unpleasant. A pot of braised or stewed chicken thighs can last for several days, paired with rice or potatoes, and you have a filling meal. When the body feels tired, you do not have to start overthinking about what to eat today. Chicken thighs are not a luxurious choice, but they are a practical one, helping you get enough protein, still enjoy your food, and avoid relying on ready-made meals or fast food. For many people, that alone is already worth it. 6. Sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are a gentle source of carbohydrates, very suitable when the body becomes more sensitive to food. They create a feeling of fullness, provide steady energy, but do not cause heaviness or post-meal fatigue like many refined carbohydrates do. Sweet potatoes are rich in vitamin A, good for the eyes, skin, and immune system, all of which tend to weaken with age. But their greatest value lies in the fact that you do not need to eat much to feel satisfied. One baked or boiled sweet potato can replace an entire light meal without causing unstable blood sugar swings. In daily life, sweet potatoes are very easy to live with. They keep well, do not require refrigeration, and do not demand complicated storage. You can bake them, boil them, steam them, or cut them up and cook them in soup while still preserving their natural flavor. Sweet potatoes do not try to impress you. They simply do their job, keeping the body full, stable, and free of hassle. And for people over 50, a food that can do that every week is a choice well worth keeping. 7. Carrots. Carrots are a vegetable that does not cause trouble for the body. They rarely make you feel bloated, hard to digest, or reactive after a meal. For people over 50, this matters more than how nutrient-dense a vegetable is supposed to be. At this stage, the body needs foods that are easy to live with, not ones that force you to adjust an entire meal. Carrots are inexpensive, available year-round, and require almost no cooking skill. They can be eaten raw. Cooked, they become even easier to digest. Stewed, stir-fried, boiled, roasted, all work. You do not need to think about cooking the right dish, because carrots rarely ruin a meal. They quietly do their job. The greatest strength of carrots is their flexibility in real life. When there are not many options left in the refrigerator, carrots still work. When you are tired and do not want to stand at the stove for long, carrots can still be part of the meal without requiring extra thought. This is a vegetable that is rarely thrown away because you do not know how to cook it. And in daily life, a food that does not create pressure is exactly the kind of food worth keeping every week. Is there anything on this list that you already buy regularly every week? Share it because your small habit might help someone else save a lot of money. 8. Cabbage. If you had to choose just one vegetable to keep in the refrigerator, cabbage is the closest thing to a survival vegetable. It is inexpensive, keeps for a long time, handles rough handling well, and does not require complicated storage. When many other vegetables wilt or are forgotten, cabbage is still there. Cabbage is rich in vitamin C, has a moderate amount of fiber, and is very easy to combine with other foods. Eggs, beans, meat, leftover rice all work with cabbage. Quick stir-fry, soup, raw salad, or slow-cooked until soft all turn into a decent meal. You do not need a recipe. As long as you have cabbage, you have a way to manage. The strength of cabbage is not refinement, but its ability to rescue meals. When the budget is tight, when you do not want to go shopping, when the refrigerator holds only a few scattered items, cabbage can still help you assemble a complete meal. Cabbage is not a vegetable to show off. It is a vegetable that keeps life from falling apart. And for people over 50, a food that can do that every week is a quiet asset. 9. Frozen vegetables. Frozen vegetables are not worse than fresh vegetables, as many people believe. What causes fresh vegetables to fail in real life is not nutrition, but the fact that they spoil before you get a chance to eat them. For people over 50, this happens very often. You buy vegetables with good intentions, but then you are tired, busy, or simply do not feel like cooking anything complicated. The result is wilted vegetables, and once again, you feel guilty toward yourself. Frozen vegetables solve exactly that problem. They allow you to eat vegetables regularly without worrying about spoilage. No washing, no chopping, no wondering whether you will have time to cook today. You simply open the bag, take the portion you need, and the rest stays safe in the freezer. The greatest strength of frozen vegetables is that they reduce daily pressure. When you are tired, when time is short, when you do not want to stand at the stove for long, frozen vegetables still help meals have color, fiber, and a sense of eating properly. They do not completely replace fresh vegetables, but they prevent you from cutting vegetables out of meals just because you are exhausted. For many people, frozen vegetables are not a perfect choice, but they are a sustainable one, helping you maintain good habits without making life harder than it needs to be. 10. Olive oil. Olive oil is one of the few fats that can be used daily without making the body pay a price. It is good for heart health, easy to combine with many dishes, and most importantly, it makes food taste better without requiring much else. For people over 50, the issue is not whether to eat fat or not, but which kind and for what purpose. Olive oil allows you to sauté vegetables, dress salads, roast potatoes, or pan-sear meat without making meals feel heavy. It makes food easier to eat, especially as taste and digestion change with age. A bottle of olive oil lasts a very long time. Calculated per meal, the cost is actually much lower than buying many different kinds of oils. More importantly, olive oil connects this entire list together. Eggs, frozen vegetables, beans, potatoes, cabbage, all become easier to eat with the right amount of olive oil. Olive oil is not something to show off. It is what allows you to eat simply but still enjoy your food and maintain stable eating habits without sacrificing your health. At this age, a fat that can do that deserves a place in the kitchen every week. If you already have the 10 foundational items above, then the next question is, where is your money actually being lost? The answer lies in the items you buy with good intentions, but do not use in time, or the items you buy because they are convenient, attractive, or sound healthy. And here are 10 of those items. 1. Pre-cut fruits and vegetables. Pre-cut fruits and vegetables look very convenient, but what you are actually buying is not convenience. It is time taken away from freshness. The moment produce is cut, vitamins begin to decline. Moisture leaks out. Air makes contact. Oxidation quietly starts, hour by hour. The problem is not just reduced nutrition, it is that you lose control. You do not know how long the produce has been cut. You do not know what solution it was washed with. You only see that it looks fine. For people over 50, the body needs food that is as minimally processed as possible. Whole vegetables allow you to eat more slowly, be more intentional, and carry less risk. Saving 5 minutes of prep time at the cost of meal quality is a trade that is not worth it. 2. Bagged salad. Bagged salad makes many people believe they are eating very healthy. But in reality, this is one of the most disappointing items. The greens inside are usually pre-washed, pre-treated, and gas-packed to extend shelf life. That helps manufacturers. But for the eater, the greens wilt quickly, become soggy, and lose flavor very early. More importantly, bagged salad often makes you eat just to get by, rather than truly feel full or satisfied. You finish eating and are still hungry, still craving, and then you look for something else. At this age, eating should not be a coping task. Vegetables should help you feel lighter after a meal, not leave you wondering whether it was enough. Which item on the avoid list surprised you the most? 3. Sweet breakfast cereal. Sweet breakfast cereal is marketed as convenient, nutritious, and quick. But for an older body, It is often a sugar shock first thing in the morning. It tastes good when you eat it, but just an hour later, energy drops quickly. Arms and legs feel tired. The mind slows down, and you reach for coffee or something sweet to pull yourself back up. The problem is not that you eat cereal. It is that sugar enters the bloodstream too quickly, without enough real fiber to keep things stable. Morning sets the rhythm for the entire day. A breakfast that sends blood sugar up and down repeatedly will exhaust the body before the day has even begun. 4. Packaged healthy snacks. Packaged healthy snacks are a very subtle trap. Low sugar, low fat, added protein, clean labels. But they are still foods designed to keep you eating without stopping. The issue is not one package. It is the habit. When you get used to packaged snacks, you slowly lose your real sense of hunger and fullness. You eat because it is convenient, because your hands are free, because it is there. For people over 50, this kind of snacking keeps the digestive system from ever resting. The body is constantly processing, but not being properly nourished. Good food is something you eat and then forget about. Healthy snacks make you think about them all day. 5. Reheated convenience meals. The real cost of convenience. Reheated convenience meals do not make you hungry, but they make the body tired in a way that is hard to notice. You finish eating quickly, but what follows is heaviness, thirst, drowsiness, and a lingering discomfort. Many people think this is age. In reality, it is the body's natural reaction to high salt, industrial fats, and overly processed food. The problem with reheated meals is not one meal, it is the habit. When you get used to just putting food in the microwave, you slowly lose connection with real eating. You stop listening to what your body needs and start listening only to the clock that says it is time to eat. For people over 50, the body can no longer tolerate eating just to get it over with. Digestion needs regularity. The heart needs gentleness. Sleep needs meals that are not too salty and not too heavy. Reheated meals sell you 10 minutes of free time, but they take away many hours of physical recovery, and that cost is often only noticed after you have eaten this way for far too long. 6. Pre-shredded cheese. When convenience makes you overeat, cheese is not bad. But pre-shredded cheese makes you eat more than you realize. When cheese is already finely shredded, it is very easy to sprinkle it onto food. There is no stopping point, no sense of how much you are actually eating. And that is when fat, salt, and calories quietly exceed what the body truly needs. Pre-shredded cheese also often contains anti-caking agents to keep the strands from sticking together. You cannot see them or smell them, but the body still has to process them. For younger people, this may not be obvious. For people over 50, it shows up as heaviness, bloating, and post-meal fatigue. In contrast, a block of whole cheese forces you to slow down, slice, grate, use just enough. That slower pace helps you eat more consciously and, paradoxically, enjoy the food more. At this age, eating less but more correctly always beats eating more just because it is convenient. 7. Flavored rice packs. Losing control at the foundation. Rice is not bad. Rice is a food that has sustained humanity for thousands of years. But flavored rice is different. When rice is pre-seasoned, you lose control right at the foundation of the meal. Salt, refined oils, flavorings all have already been decided for you. You just eat. And that is exactly what leads you to eat more than you need, because the flavor is designed to stimulate. For people over 50, the body no longer needs intensely flavored meals. It needs meals that feel comfortable afterward. Flavored rice often makes you full, but not comfortable. Full, yet still tired. Full, yet still craving. Plain rice allows you to feel full without overload. It stretches meals and makes meat and vegetables feel enough, instead of forcing you to eat more just to satisfy your taste. 8. Bottled juice. Sugar in liquid form. Bottled juice is not fruit. It is sugar made easier to drink. When you drink juice, sugar goes straight into the bloodstream without chewing, without digestion. There is no fiber to slow it down. There is no signal of enough. The result is blood sugar rising quickly, then dropping quickly, and you feel hungry, tired, and craving again. Many people over 50 drink juice every day, believing they are taking care of their health. But this habit quietly destabilizes energy levels, raises blood sugar, and causes prolonged fatigue. Eating fruit is completely different from drinking juice. The body knows the difference very clearly, even if advertising does not say so. If you must choose, chew. Do not drink. 9. Buying too many fresh berries. The trap of perfection. Berries are very good, but berries are also very fragile. When you buy too many, you put yourself under pressure to eat them quickly, and when you cannot, you feel guilty for wasting them. This loop repeats itself. Buy with good intentions. Do not eat in time. Throw away, blame yourself. Buy less next time, then slowly buy more again. For people over 50, eating should not be a source of mental pressure. Frozen berries allow you to use exactly what you need, when you need it, without urgency and without waste. Stability matters more than perfection, and eating consistently matters more than eating perfectly. 10. Pre-minced garlic in jars. When you get used to food that has lost its aroma, pre-minced garlic is very convenient. But it loses its aroma quickly and often contains preservatives to maintain color. More importantly, it conditions you to accept weakened flavor. Fresh garlic is not just seasoning. It is a biological signal. The smell of garlic activates digestion. The taste of garlic tells the body this is real food. When you get used to pre-minced garlic, you gradually accept food that is bland and less alive. And that is when meals stop nourishing you the way they once did. Eating well does not begin with recipes. It begins with the grocery cart. If you buy the right 10 foundational items, you will notice something very strange. You eat more simply, but feel healthier. Worry less. Waste less. No need to be perfect. Just stop buying the wrong things. Among the 20 items today, which one are you buying the most? And which one did you buy with good intentions, but ended up throwing away? Leave a comment, because your story may help someone else save money and protect their health.